When I was in my 20s, I remember being so obsessed with the future, so worried about what I didn't have, what I haven't accomplished by 25, 26, 27. Um, for me, things look very, very far from what I thought I could get. And all of this led me to feel very unfulfilled. And I continually compare my life with other people. And I was very unhappy. Was close when I was getting close to my 30s, I hit the rock bottom. I got ill because all of these constant emotions they were affecting me and my organism, and I got ill. I started to get into more and more into sleepless nights, depression, until I get insomnia and other type of illnesses. The truth is that if I tell you, don't worry about what people think about you, don't worry about the future, live your life, be present in the moment, and try to be positive, I will be lying to you if I tell you all of this, because the truth is that no matter how much or how many times you hear people telling you to be positive, to be in the present moment, it doesn't matter what you heard of what advices you heard from, I don't know what source the message might come from. It doesn't matter. There is a moment for you to be ready to receive the message. And I'm telling you this because I used to read self-help books. I went to therapy a couple of times. I was a very advocate of positive thinking, but I didn't practice it in my own on my own self. I didn't have the right information, or maybe I had the information, but the information was not clear to me at that moment because I wasn't ready. And you might be wondering, but wasn't why I wasn't ready? Why what was the issue with me that I was not ready for me to change? And that was because I really had to experience life. Sometimes we think that things happen to us just because. And it's not about that. We are experiencing life. And we cannot expect for being ready for everything, for changing, for evolving. Sometimes we need to experience things in order for us to live life. We need to live life. And this is the point of the video. We need to live life, and we need to understand that you will hear people telling you to do things on certain ways. You will get advice from many people. There is a moment that you will get this information, and it might help you at the moment, or you might need some time to heal, to process that information. But the healing process or the transformation does not happen just because you listen or read a book about positivity, or just because you read a book. And like, if you read the book and you don't change, or if you heard the advice, or if you go to therapy for years and you don't see change, anything happen, don't judge yourself and don't be at fault. Like, don't feel that there is something, a problem with you, or that maybe you might think that you are not positive enough, or that there is something missing. Maybe you are just like meant to be like that. It's not about that. Eventually, you will be ready to change. And that might lead you to another question to me, and that is, but when that is going to happen? That is going to happen whenever it has to happen. Whenever you get the information and you understand it, at least, and you process that information in your mind, and it's clear to you, you will go ahead and change. Because sometimes we are not at fault. When you get the information and you understand it and you delay the process of changing, that's one thing. But sometimes you just don't understand it. You just don't understand things. You need answers, but sometimes you just don't know. And that doesn't mean that you are not positive. That doesn't mean that you are not working on changing. The information will be clear to you. And once that happens, you will be ready to move to next steps. And this involves the transformation. Take note of the fact that the transformation happens in this process as well. When you feel that you are not changing, when you feel that you feel stuck, even in the process of being stuck, you are just experiencing life. Another important fact is that sometimes there are moments in our lives that we just feel that it's not easy for us to keep the positivity mindset. And that is also us as human beings feeling emotions and being present in this body. Yes, I want to be positive 100% of my time, but I am not thinking positive all the time. And that doesn't mean that I don't want to be a positive thinker or that I am not a positive person or that I don't live a positive life or I don't have a positive attitude. Sometimes you just don't have the energy, you are going through tough moments, and embracing that, just, understanding the fact that we are all humans. Sometimes you don't want advices. Sometimes you just want to experience what is happening in the moment so that you give space for other moments to come. And you, throughout the time, the more you experience positivity, the more you try the information that makes sense for you and that feels right for you. That is when you start the transformation process. For some people, might be different. For you, it's going to be a different journey, and that's another thing. Transformation, it's different for everybody. You might question yourself for not being when you want to be, and you might compare yourself when you see people in the position you are or way ahead from you, and you might be wondering why they are where I want to be and I am not. We are all different. We were raised differently. We have different thought patterns, and some people might have it easier than you. Some people might have a different way of thinking that you don't. And there's nothing wrong with you for that. It's just that you might need to work harder than these people and you don't know. Or you might need more time. And it's just a fact. Now, are you gonna just the important thing is just understanding that we have information. And when I have the information, it's when I have the power to create the transformation.